Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Combermary people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Wednesday, August 24. In Squiz Kids Today, report card in for Aussie kids, Pakistan's sky-high school run, fake pyjamas on the net, and alien messages from outer space. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
It's report card time, as the NAPLAN results were published yesterday. And the good news is that in almost every state, about half of the kids tested are performing strongly in basic maths and English. So, well done you. The less good news? Kids in the country, Indigenous kids and kids from households with less money are more likely to fall behind in the basics of reading and writing and need extra support to keep up. You know NAPLAN, right? Those tests that every kid in years 3, 5, 7 and 9 does? It's a way for the government to see which parts of the country need the most support when it comes to education. Because it shouldn't matter where you live or how much money you have, everyone should have access to a good education. In terms of a league table, because I know how much you kids love to rank yourself against one another, New South Wales students did best overall in the NAPLAN tests for maths, spelling and grammar. ACT kids had the highest number of kids excelling at reading, and girls, take a bow. You beat the boys when it comes to reading. The important thing to remember though when you get your NAPLAN results back, it's just a test. And only a test of some pretty basic stuff. It doesn't measure how kind you are, how thoughtful you are, how creative you might be, or how sporty you are. It's an important test for the government to work out how to best design the education system, but it's got Buckley's chance of capturing the unique essence of you.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Pakistan, where a bunch of kids on their way to school had to be rescued from a cable car hanging over a ravine. Wow! What's a ravine? It's a steep valley, usually with a river running at the bottom of it. This particular cable car is used every day by kids getting to school. It's a 4-minute journey high above the valley instead of the 2-hour road trip it would otherwise take them to get to their school. But when the cable snapped, stranding the car halfway across, helicopters and specialist rescue climbers had to be brought in to carry the kids to safety, which thankfully happened without incident while their parents watched on from below. 270 metres below. Yikes! So, next time you complain about how long it takes you to get to school, be it by bus, by foot, by train, bicycle or car, spare a thought for these Pakistani school kids and maybe reflect on how good you've actually got it.
Spaced out.
There was much excitement in the astronomy world yesterday as scientists waited eagerly to see if aliens from outer space would reply to a message sent from Earth 40 years ago. Back in 1983, a pair of astronomers sent a message out into space, specifically towards a star system called Altair, which is 16.7 light years away. Now, 1 light year is the distance that light would travel in the space of a year. And given that light travels at approximately 300,000 kilometres per second, my friends, that star is a long, long way away. So far away that the message took 20 years to get from Earth to the star. And now, another 20 years after that, stargazers are eagerly waiting and watching to see if we get a reply. 40 years, though, is a long time to wait for someone to reply to an email. Maybe aliens don't do punctuality.
Newshounds!
Every Thursday, Squizzy the Newshound sticks his snout into Squiz Kids HQ and reports back on fishy stories he's sniffed out on the internet. And today, his nose is twitching after stumbling upon a bunch of fake websites pretending to be the online home of really well-known and popular fashion labels, including pyjama shop Peter Alexander, advertising the clothes at a huge discount. Problem is, people who fall for the fake websites are handing over money, but either receiving fakes in the mail or not receiving anything at all, which has prompted a warning for online shoppers to be super careful when they're on the web. Which, as it happens, is what Squizzy tells us every week. Namely, to stop, think, and check before believing everything we see, read, or hear on the internet. And if your class wants to join the 1,600 classrooms around the country who are busy becoming newshounds via Squiz Kids' very own free media literacy classroom resource, then jump on over to squizkids.com.au and sign up pronto. Because a media literate kid is a future-proofed kid. Keep those book week photos coming, kids. All week we've been asking you to send us a snap of you in your book week costume. And there are some doozies that have come in already, with a special shout out to the Golden Snitch from Harry Potter and the Cynocephalus from Percy Jackson, both of which we've reposted to our Instagram. Has your school held its book week parade yet? As you're donning your costume, don't forget to get mum or dad to snap a quick pic of you and share it to their socials, tagging @SquizKids or hashtag SquizKids on Facebook or Instagram so we can see it and share it too. And we'll be handing out prizes to the best costumes, thanks to our friends at Walker Books. And teachers, we know you've got the goods too when it comes to costumes. Give Squiz Kids a follow on Facebook or Insta and upload your picture to socials tagging us, and we'll repost them to our pages and pick a winner. Because book week, right?
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. In which country did a cable car get stuck above a ravine? Yeah, that's right, it's Pakistan. Question number 2. What's the name of the big national test that kids in years 3, 5, 7 and 9 do each year? Yes, of course, it's called NAPLAN. Question number 3. What's the name of the star to which astronomers sent a message 40 years ago? Well done if you said Altair.
Shout-outs.
It's August 24. Today is my birthday. And because it's my birthday, I'm cracking out the birthday reggae tune early this week and having myself a little boogie. Why don't you join me? Hit it! It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Let's call them my birthday buddies. Lily from Oyster Bay, Gurner from Spring Mountain, Evelyn from Herberton, Sebastian from The Ponds, Samson from Earlwood, Rhiannon and Chelsea from Oran Park, Odette from Jerilderie, Addison from Killarney Vale, Charlotte from Sydney, and Thomas from Pitt Town. And classroom shout-outs today go to Class D5 and Miss Tilly at Marriottville Primary School in South Australia, Years 5 and 6 with Mrs Adams at Nuriupta Primary School, Class 3GK with Ms Gilbertson at Epping West Public School, Class 4M with Miss Mack at Yeronga State School, Miss Delaharp's class at Gallangara Public School, Mrs V's class at Farnborough Road Public School in Unanderra, Class 5-6G with Mrs Nielsen at Sutherland North Public School, and finally to Class 6R3 at Spring Mountain State School. A happy birthday to their teacher, Miss Prasad. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you're after a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow with the Kids versus Adult Weekly News Squiz. so you can test who's been paying the most attention to the week that just was, and of course all of our weekend birthday shout-outs. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.